And Austin, it was more of the frickin' same from Nico. I am a Leva. Hit us
Yeah.
with the review of the UCLA game.
Yeah. So listen, man, it was one of those things. It was like, I the Bama thing was unexpected, right? It was an unexpected result. I didn't expect Florida State to win that game. I really didn't. So I was really happy with that. Everything I saw from UCLA, it was expected. The first thing I saw was they were trying everything that they were doing everything in their power, Blake, to not show the stadium because everyone involved would have been embarrassed by the amount of fans in the stadium. They would have been.
Yeah.
No one showed up, and everyone that did show up was Utah fans. There was literally zero UCLA fans in the stadium. That is not an exaggeration whatsoever. Okay, zero UCLA fans showed up to the game. So no one's even excited about this potential five-star quarterback with all this potential, right? Right off the gate, man. It's just like it's basically if you photoshopped a jersey, a UCLA jersey on Nico last year. That's what I saw. He's the exact same player. The very first deep ball of the game, he has him wide open. His offensive coordinator's probably feeling really good. It's like, I got a five-star, man. I finally got some talent that can get this kid the ball. He's wide open by 15 yards, and Nico overthrows him by 5 yards. That's classic, man. Classic Nico. Nothing changes, dude. It was overthrows all night long. UCLA's terrible, man. UCLA's terrible, and listen, it does go back to Big Nick, right? It does. We have to talk about his dad because
Yep.
here's the story, Blake. Here's the story, and this is how it's going to be told, and it's literally going to save some kids' careers. So what happened is that his kid, right? He was given God-given abilities, right? God-given
Yep.
abilities to throw the football and be really athletic, right? Those are God-given abilities. You didn't train for that. You were
Nope.
given that by the grace of God. And what did you do with that? Okay. Well, as a selfish parent, you said, "Well, I want to squeeze every last ounce out of this kid as I possibly can." Okay, I want to
Yep.
benefit from this as much as I possibly can. So you make a good decision at first to go to Tennessee because we offered you a lot of money, right? So it wasn't really the fact that you wanted to go get developed and you actually want to play in the SEC. It was the fact that we offered you the most money and you accepted that because, again, you're a selfish parent who's taking advantage of your child. Okay, and then what happens, Blake? Okay, apparently Nico's going to the Rose Bowl, the UCLA game, while
Oh
on
my gosh.
right before the Ohio State game, by the way. Not a great
I
look.
thought it was right before we lost to Arkansas. I thought it
Oh
was
yeah,
in the
excuse me.
bye
Yes,
week,
you're right. It was right before we lost to Arkansas when he ran out of bounds. You're
and then
absolutely
he
correct.
runs out of bounds on 4th down at the end of the
Correct.
game.
So your dad, listen, your dad is obviously huge influence on Nico Wright, and in the off season, he demands more money. That's the story. That's what was happening. He was demanding more money. 4 million was the number. Big Nick told us, right? There's literally messages with him from another big source saying we have multiple offers of teams offering four
Yep.
million dollars. Okay, that was the story.
Lie.
What complete lie. Nico doesn't show up to practice. Heupel kicks him off the team. That's what happened. We're not going to retell the story. It had nothing to do with the offense. It had nothing to do with the talent. He wanted more money. Heupel told him to kick rocks, and that's what happened. So he ran back home to UCLA, right? He ran back home to UCLA to play in front of no fans with a worse supporting cast and a worse offense and a worse defense. And what's the result? 46-10 ass whipping at home in front of nobody at 11 p.m., dude. You are playing in the SEC in front of 100,000 fans and even millions more on TV. You went to the Big Ten to play in front of zero fans and nobody watching on TV except for Tennessee hate watchers, including
Literally
myself.
take Tennessee. Yep.
I was literally the only people watching last night. And you did all that for less money, not 4 million. The 4 million was completely fabricated. No one offered him 4 million whatsoever because no one wanted him. Okay. You went there for less money, for more taxes, for a worse offense, a worse defense, and no fans. You gave up 100,000 in the SEC on the biggest stage with a team that just carried you to the playoffs. Dude, my opinion on Nico is it's getting worse and worse as time goes on. He was literally dragged to the playoffs last year, Blake. Absolutely dragged to the playoffs last year. And you gave all that up to go play in front of people dressed as empty seats, man. That's what you did at 11 p.m. Come on,
It,
man.
it's one of truly it's going to go down as one of the biggest fumbles of all time. One
All
of the
time.
absolute biggest fumbles of all time of a college football player. I don't think it's too early to say that because you're absolutely right. He looked exactly the same, bro. He was not going through progressions. He was not decisive. He was overthrowing receivers. He was not accurate. He looked exactly the same. He is Austin. Nico is who we thought he was. Okay, and so we're in a better position now. It was actually a blessing in disguise. It truly was, right? And so it's honestly it's couldn't have gone better for us in terms of, I mean, because we freed up a little bit of money in terms of NIL, and we got a better quarterback, and all these different things. It's hard to fathom. And I am gonna shout out in the chat here. Todd said, first of all, Todd Fox, welcome, Todd Fox. I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat. Welcome to the Vol Talk podcast here. Folks, again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It would really help us out. But Todd, first and foremost, I want to say he commented that he has to live in Bama, not by choice. And he says, let me tell you, I can't wait to retire and get back to East Tennessee. Brother, we'll be praying for you. We can't wait for you to get back to God's country
Listen,
as well.
and,
I'm sorry you have to live in Alabama.
and
But,
Todd and Lynn, Blake, by all accounts, are the
yep,
only good things that come out of Alabama. Y'all will have to let me know.
correct.
Y'all are doing the Lord's work. You're literally the only reason that I'm not sitting here thinking Alabama is the worst state in the union. Okay, that might go to like Utah or California or whatever. But listen, Bama, y'all are literally the only good things that come out of that state.
Correct. But Todd says here, he makes a great, comment, Austin. He says that's Samoan culture, that you have to do what your elders tell you. And Austin, we have said before about Nico, we have shown Nico a little bit of grace, Nico, the individual, because we're like, hey, unfortunately, his dad is leading him down the wrong path. It is so utterly clear by all accounts, all of the information that we have available to us, and now the objective reality that even if it was Nico's decision, even if his dad had nothing to do with it, in terms of Nico leaving Tennessee and now going to UCLA, it's obviously a worse situation, as you just pointed out. All those things you pointed out. So why, as a father, would you not, if it was Nico's decision, tell your son, "Hey, you're making
Selfishness.
the wrong decision"? It's selfishness. And the reality is that unfortunately the dad is leading him down the wrong path. So Todd, you're absolutely right. Samoan culture, you have to do what the elders tell you. And I respect that, right? I respect, because Austin, you want to be able to trust your dad. We've talked about this. You want to be able to trust your parents. But unfortunately, Big Nick has screwed his son over. And now he's making a fool of
Blake,
himself at UCLA. It's
and
just a joke.
and dude, he ruined his career. He ruined Nico's career, man. Like
Yep.
completely butchered it. Like that can't. And yeah, he ruined it, man. I know we got to continue to catch up on chat, but I mean, talk about a blessing in the skies. The great Joey Aguilar, not wanted by UCLA. Well, we'll take him. We'll take him. Hey, you have our guy. We got your guy. I'll take that trade all day, every day, and twice on Sunday, baby.
Twice on Sunday, indeed, because we early signs again indicating we're taking the early victory laps, indicating that we are making out like a bandit in this trade. Austin, that's the common string, right? Is like we
Yeah.
learned last year that Nico's actually mid. He's
Yes, it's
actually
simple
for
as that, dude. He's not that good. In fact, breaking news: he still sucks. He still sucks,
yeah.
Blake.
Yeah, shout out to the overlay there. Breaking news: Nico still sucks.